Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. We're going to take a quick look here at Sandbox, get a quick analysis, see what's going on, just as an update since I covered this here recently. I'm going to try to cover more coins frequently, day in, day out, to ensure we have some follow-up when they take off like this one did recently. Okay, so again, we'll check that out. If you're new to the channel, reference my Telegram community. I actually have a really awesome trading group where I actually send out signals for every single trade that I take. It's fully automated through Cornix, which is a trading bot. So you don't have to do much at all. Regardless, check that out. You'll learn a thing or two as well. That's the whole point of it, is to ensure that you become a better trader. That's why we're going to take a look here at Sand. So quick little big picture here. Let's take a look at Sandbox first of all. Obviously ramping up, doing some things. It broke its all-time high here recently, right around 166. And the last 3 days has basically been taking off. Took off 2 days ago. Yesterday was a sell-off retracement. Today's back on track. That's pretty standard for coins like this that want to just keep taking off, especially this type of coin as well. Again, do your own research, but Sandbox does have a lot of fundamentals going on the back end. Now, RSI is up over 70, pretty standard. But as we can see here, we had kind of almost an effective bounce off of 70, or above that rather. So a lot of times that happens when the RSI comes up over 70, it works as a support level, and it'll keep the price higher, which is actually a very, very good sign here in this sense that we got that bounce. We've got increased volume here as well. And we're only halfway through the trading day. And let's go ahead and take a look here at good old Fibonacci retracement and kind of see what's going on. First of all, just to note, both moving averages are well beyond the price. Pretty standard right now, but what's good about that is it does work. It's kind of reaffirming the support level here at about 167, the previous all-time high, because of the fact that the price is effectively well above, but the moving average is right there with it, okay? It's a really good sign. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at a Fibonacci and see how this lines up. You can see how that lines up perfectly with that support level right as soon as it came up. So it's almost effectively hitting exact on the Fibonacci retracement lines. So let's go ahead and mark these support and resistance zones. So we're going to mark 0.5, which is a really good Fibonacci retracement line. It's pretty consistent. Same with 0.236. That one's pretty standard as well. And then we'll also go ahead and mark 786. So we got kind of the three most traditional, more common ones that I like to rely on. So what we'll see, we'll probably see the price kind of continue sideways, perhaps right through 1.95, upwards of about 2.2. So $2.20 could be the potential resistance zone for now. We'll look at smaller time frames, kind of see if there's any other indications, but I think we're going to see the price kind of stay within this range here first, and then possibly retrace. But what it does look like it's shaping up to do, again, this is kind of early and premature, but we do have somewhat of an ascending wedge pattern, right? And what we also want to note too is the fact that we have this all-time high right here, which was what, 245. So for lack of better terms, and this may not happen right away, but I think it could happen soon, is the simple fact that we have this ascending wedge pattern forming. A lot of times when price kind of just slowly squeezes into a triangle, it'll effectively kind of break out to the upside. I would say it's about 70, 80% of the time you'll see that, break bullish instead of bearish, right? Now, this may not happen today, very well could, it's hard to say specifically, but just note that if the more often it tests this resistance level, the more likely it is to break it. And that's kind of what we're seeing here. Let's go ahead and go with the best case scenario. Let's say this breaks that all-time high and it keeps pushing and powering through. Let's see what that would look like. This is just, again, on this more recent little run here. I know it seems kind of funky. Hold on, let me go ahead and put that right there. So generally speaking here, I would say best case scenario, we're looking at about 372. For the price to continue to increase if we're to get the same type of leg up, right? So what I'd prefer to see though is honestly the price to kind of consolidate and go sideways from here. Just slowly kind of work itself into this funnel, right? And then once it breaks, it'll probably bounce off of one of the resistance levels there from Fibonacci, and it'll effectively be able to, bounce higher. But the key takeaway here is that if the price doesn't consolidate and get a little bit more sideways action, then we might see a decrease in price or a significant retracement because it didn't have enough time to consolidate, right? So it got too high too quick and has to come back down. That's exactly why we saw the price come down here and bounce off of this Fibonacci retracement line, just simply based on the fact that what goes up must come down, right? If you take the full percent from here to top, right, that 219%, it's almost exactly halfway there. In fact, if we look at Fibonacci and go from bottom to top, it's probably almost exactly right at that halfway point. So if you look at that, the price retraced right around 0.5. Yeah, and that's pretty standard. other words, anytime you see a retracement, some kind of significant increase, when the price comes down, you can expect it to come down about 50% of the way. I teach my patrons that all the time. It's like, hey, be cautious, be careful when you see a price increase so high, so fast. Shiba Inu did that recently. There's quite a few others actually that did. They'll bounce back, don't get me wrong, just based on the fact that they have that momentum. But there's always that consolidation period, that retracement, because it has to come back down due to the fact that the bulls turn into bears and they want to take their profits, right? And then people like you and I are kind of left with a higher price point. We kind of hold until the price comes back up, and then we potentially sell, right? Or don't even sell at all. Obviously every situation is different. But that's kind of what we're looking at here. So again, big picture, I think 372 was a better case scenario if we were to see the same type of momentum over the next week or two, right? So 372 is likely, don't get me wrong, but is it probable? I don't believe so, just based on the fact that this needs more time to consolidate. I would like to see that price point somewhere in the next 2 to 4 weeks. So I'd say by end of November, yeah, 372, possibly even $4 is very realistic. But at this point in time, right now, I would like to see it kind of calm down and continue to just squeeze into this wedge pattern and, just keep doing something like this, right? And then eventually break to the upside, because that way it gives it that consolidation period, that time to kind of calm down. One more thing too, also to note, and I try to teach this to my patrons as well, make sure that you always set a target. In fact, 3 targets if possible before you get into a trade, right? So never take a trade not knowing where you want to get in and where you want to get out. You have to do that, and don't waffle on it either. Don't just keep moving it arbitrarily or jump into a trade without even thinking about it. You have to know where you're at. So if you're going to take a trade right now, have 372 as a profit target. That's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. And just move up your stop loss as the price goes higher, right? But the best thing to do with stop loss, I get this question a lot too, is just move it to the most recent stop, or just below the most recent Fibonacci retracement line, support level rather. So in this case here, the price keeps going up. Maybe consider setting your stop loss down here at first, right? And once it breaks this resistance level, move it to right here. And as it breaks the next, move it to here, right? So you just kind of step up, if you will. Once you hit your targets, you adjust it to your previous entry point and just keep on moving it up. It's considered a moving target stop loss. So definitely recommend you do something along those lines. Again, we have all that built into our bots, right? So whenever I send out a signal to my community, which is frequently, it just has everything built in. So you just one-click follow, good to go. But generally speaking, if you're going to create this yourself, 3 commas or Cornix are both very good. Cornix is great through Telegram, that's what we use, but 3 commas is also fantastic too for more of an automated process that has trailing stop losses. Anyways, check that out in your own time. But I hope you found benefit here, and if so, please like and subscribe. If not, that's okay too. Feel free to reference my Telegram community as well. I have everything, all the social media stuff down in the link in the descriptions below. Hope you have a great rest of your day. We'll look forward to seeing you in the next one. Take care.